Episode 246. Once again, Komori spots a familiar-looking flyer in a familiar corner of the 8th Right Plaza next to a familiar pile of snow. It's the very thing that set her off to become a lumberjack, a botanist in the first place. And now she's back. She's all ready with her botanist skills to help with the Ishgardian restoration, ready to chop down a bunch of wood and use her carpenter skills to make a bunch of scaffolding, which they'll surely need. They always need scaffolding here in Ishgard, all the time. The notice reads, workers sought for the permanent reconstruction project. In smaller letters it continues, let it be known that large-scale reconstruction works aimed at revitalizing the Holy See of Ishgard have been approved by the Houses of Lords and Commons. Selected as the principal site for the project is the Firmament District. That's what it was called, not the pillars or the foundation. It's the firmament, below the foundation, which sustained extensive damage during the war. Willing and able hands are now sought to contribute to the reconstruction effort. Regardless of birth and origin, that's us. From those skilled in gathering, that's us. From the land, to those adept at creating with their hands, also us. The project's needs are great and diverse. Contributions will not go unrewarded. Interested parties are invited to present themselves in the firmament. According to the note at the bottom of the notice, a man named Tomlin in the broom will show you to the district. I didn't really need to get my classes up to level 50 for this, but I just kind of wanted to have at least one Disciple of Land and one Disciple of Hand approximately on level with, I guess, the area, which is Ishgard, I guess, level 50 to 60. Technically, if you were to take this on, the maximum class at the time would have been, I think, 70? Maybe 80. It would have been the end of Shadowbringers, wouldn't it? So level 80. It's also a great place for leveling up, but didn't want to enter the place with 0 skill as a Disciple of Land or whatever. It would just feel like, I don't know, we're coming to help but we don't know anything about what we're helping with. But we're ready now, ready to contribute. Well met, friend. Answering the call of the firmament, are you? Wonderful, wonderful. Wait, I know you. You're the savior of Ishgard. Oh, you recognize us? In our farmer getup? Are you saying that you would contribute to the reconstruction project? Yeah, we saw the flyer, twice. Oh no, I guess I should plug that in. I guess I'll do that now. There, it's not easy. To think that a fabled hero such as you would help to rebuild our city, we are grateful beyond words. There is just one trifling matter. Do you perchance possess a work permit? It is a requirement for non-Ishgardians, you see. We don't need permits. Is that so? As I recall, you are a ward of House Wattops, in which case perhaps an exception can be made. Alas, I don't have the authority to make such a decision. Well, I do, and I believe the permit can be overlooked in her case. The guy we saw in the quest image, in the tooltip or whatever, the window. Lord Overseer, that you should grace us again. It's Francel. And again, this would have been during the Shadowbringers patch quests or whatever, in between Shadowbringers and Endwalker. So they were taking some of the characters that they had from way back when and just giving them a new thing to do. Francel, who you probably hadn't seen since years and years ago during Heavensward, now given a new starring role in this side content, I guess. Greetings, my friend. It has been quite a while. Indeed, I shouldn't be surprised if you have forgotten me. How could we forget our favorite dragon cultist? But Komori has forgotten. We haven't, Komori has. You needn't apologize. Fairly buried in snow at Skyfire Locks as I was. I've had precious little opportunity to return to the Holy See. It shall be my pleasure to reintroduce myself. I am Francel, youngest son of House Hyanart. Was it Halenart? What was the actual pronunciation? Whatever. I'll just go with my wrong pronunciation. You delivered me from a most dire predicament once upon a time. Yeah, they found out about your dragging cultist crimes, and we helped cover it up, right? It feels like an age ago that you and Lord Horshaphon saved me from a heretic's fate. You had proven your worth to me then. Even so, little did I expect that you would go on to save our entire nation. You are a hero to us all, and no amount of words could express my gratitude. No, only through action could I begin to repay the debt. Thus did I resolve to do my part for Ishgard, that I might honor those noble souls who risked life and limb to protect the nation, souls such as you and Lord Horshaphon. And so when an overseer was being sought for the restoration project, I put forth my candidacy as a representative of my house. Our workshops and engineers could be put to good use, I reasoned. It's good that we have all of this history with House Hyanart, not just with Francel, but also with Stephanivian, the oldest son, I guess. With the gun guys, the machinists, that's what they're called. It was by no means unanimous, but the Fury saw fit to see me elected to the office. Honored am I for this opportunity to serve the nation, and to redeem House Hyanart's good name. Owing to the contribution of artisans hailing from far and wide, we have accomplished our goal of rebuilding the district. Oh. You mean it's over? However, we are still short-handed in the area of administration, on account of which I have been performing such odd tasks as I could. Which is what brings me here today. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go and survey our citizens in order to learn what they envision for the firmament. If you can spare a moment, might I have the pleasure of your company? Well-traveled as you are, your opinion would be of great interest to me, and I believe folk would be more willing to share their thoughts with you. You have my gratitude. Without further ado, let us take ourselves to the Jeweled Crozier. We are bound to find a diverse assortment of people there. What was that you were saying about the firmament being rebuilt already? No, I guess we're going this way. I'm sure whatever he said doesn't matter, right? They still need us to help rebuild. Yeah. Surely that flyer wouldn't still be up if they didn't need helping hands to rebuild the district. Helping hands to rebuild the district. And the Jeweled Crozier. Right. Oh, right here. Yes, this should be a suitable spot. Join Francel as he surveys passers-by to learn their opinion of the firmament. As the survey may take several minutes, you may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. We're getting a little preview here. This is, I guess, what you could call tech, that they introduced in later expansions. Just like cutscenes that are also interactable or something. It's not really tech, but it's just something that they start doing, I guess, around Shadowbringers or something like that. But we get to see it early because we're participating in this now. I'm kind of underdressed, aren't I? I don't have a better glamour for this, though. Well, I come here to get supplies for the watch, and what should I find but a familiar face? And if that ain't a pretty lad you've got with you, Komoi, and a highborn one besides, you've done well for yourself. Yeah, we get all the bitches and hoes, especially the highborn ones. You know me, I always aim high, because we're short. I'm teasing is all. Any road, it's good to see you, my friend. What brings you here? Lady Hilda, your reputation precedes you. As you may be aware, approval was recently passed for the restoration of the firmament. In order to build a district that best serves its residents, we would know what good citizens such as yourself envision for it. Will you not share with us your thoughts? Good citizens, huh? Like Hilda? Yeah, she's a model citizen. Ah, so you're the one they appointed overseer. Well then, you won't mind if I speak freely. Now this ain't hardly revolutionary, but I want the firmament to be a place we can all make an honest living. Where if a man works hard enough, he can have a roof over his head and food in his belly. Aye, might be as the war is over, but for a lot of us, the struggle continues, same as before. The sort of struggle blue bloods will never know. Remember, Ishgar don't belong only to the high and the holy now. If the nation's to prosper, all her citizens need to prosper. Well, we must be getting on. But if you've need of the guards, who's on the background? Is that important? That's part of the cutscene, so it must be like either a cameo or important. Anyway. But if you've need of the guards, feel free to send word. If the coin's fair, I reckon we can come to an arrangement. Oh, him? Him? This is a bit early. Well, I mean, it's fine. Should I have done the other thing first? This is fine. I didn't realize he'd be part of this quest, but... It's Ishgardian. Of course we know him. We could have taken this quest without doing any of the stuff in A Realm Reborn where we first met Ishgardian. Maybe getting ahead of myself, but there's also some extra stuff we could do with Ishgardian, but I think that extra stuff is probably fine that we didn't do yet. As long as we met him in the... what's it called? The Unforgettable Guy, the Manderville quests, yeah. We already met him in those, so it's fine that we're meeting him now. Ah, that there is Lord Ishgardian. I had heard he was traveling the realm in his capacity as a consulting inspector, but it appears he has returned to Ishgard. If there's any dialogue I'm missing, it would be from the extra stuff that I'm thinking about, but... whatever, it's fine. Like your good self, he is a well-traveled individual, and I should like to inquire after his opinion. Do you suppose we could beg a moment of his time? We meet again, Inspector. A moment, good Inspector. You there. The one with the spectacles. Yeah, that's it. To reduce the realm's preeminent Inspector to a pair of spectacles. You are an impudent one indeed. Yeah, that's us. You remember, right? Lord Ishgardian, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Francel de Hayenart, and I have the honor of overseeing the reconstruction of the firmament. It is known that you are intimately familiar with all the city-states of Eorzea, and I should be much obliged for your insights. In your expert opinion, what is the one thing you believe the firmament needs most? If the district is to thrive, then it must have a thriving economy. As I have oft observed in my travels, the flow of goods and people is as lifeblood to a city, and should be encouraged. Ishgard has long been insular, but the recent changes present a great opportunity. Given the right planning, I'm hopeful that ours may become a nation where no citizen lives in want. I bid you the very best in your endeavors, and should you have need of my investigative prowess, do not hesitate to call upon me. By your leave. And our leave, we give you permission. Oh, and then, ho there, old boy, my brave and dashing Lord Amanalaine. Yeah, We aim high, don't we? We're kind of out of his league, though. And there I thought a distressed damsel was crying out for the comfort of mine arms. You surely know how to get a man's hope up, old girl. And if it isn't my dear Lord Francel, how fares your lovely sister? Has she perchance spoken of me late? Or me of late? Right, yeah. I didn't really put two and two together, but obviously I'm forgetting her name. The woman who's always stationed in the Sea of Clouds. She's of course high in art, so that would make her Francel's sister, as well as Stephanivian's sister. I never really see these guys in the same room together, so I don't really think of them as brother and sister, but that's what they are. If Lanaiite has spoken of you, I fear it has not been in our conversations. Now, if I may change the subject, Lord Emmanuel, you will have heard that the restoration of the firmament has commenced. Is there aught that you envision for the district? What I envision, I can't say I've given it much thought. Well, think harder. Well, what with the war finally come to an end, what is in order if not festivities? Yes, make the firmament into a festive place, I say. A place where one and all may engage in revelry each and every day. I mean, it's not a terrible suggestion. Beg pardons, my lord, but I believe Lord Francel seeks something more specific and, dare I say, constructive. No, the advice comes from the heart, and I shall take it to heart. You have my gratitude, Lord Emmanuel. Always a pleasure to aid a fellow man. Now then, we must be on our way. Take care, Gomoy, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Oh, and Lord Francel, do send my fondest regards to your sister. Tell her how very helpful I was. Yes, that's good. I'm sure he will. Well, I dare say we have spoken with enough people. Shall we conclude the surveying and review what we have learned? Thanks to your presence, we were able to hear a diverse variety of opinions. Each one has merit. The question is whether the visions can be made reality. And of course that whole cutscene. Again, since this was in Shadowbringers, this would have been your reunion tour with a bunch of NPCs you haven't seen for a long time, I guess. But we just saw them. They're standing right over there. No, such pessimism will not serve. I must have faith and try my earnest best. Now then, for all this talk of the firmament, you haven't seen it, have you? Or you haven't even seen it, have you? Would you care to inspect it with me? I will be there for a while hence, so please join me at your leisure. Domelin by the entrance will show you to the district. Oh, and when you see the man, would you mind giving him this? 'Tis bone-chilling work, standing there as he does. And it is a little something to keep him warm. I could as easily hand it to him, but to be sure, but it would be all the more warming coming from the savior of Ishgard. With that, I shall go on ahead. See you in the firmament, my friend. Saying the firmament, the two M's close together, kind of trips me up a little bit every time. Firmament, just gotta say it slower, I guess. Firmament. Whatever. That might be the last time I have to say it. Probably not. They're gonna mention it a million more times, I guess. Alright, let us in. I guess the entrance is just like past here, even though this goes up to the pillars. We can probably assume that, knowing how Ishgard looks from the outside, there's a bunch of like stairs going up and down. We probably go up these stairs, and at a midpoint we go down some stairs that lead to the firmament, I guess. Probably. That's the only explanation I have, I guess. Welcome back, my lady. Will you be heading to the firmament? Have some mulled wine. It'll keep you warm. From the Lord Overseer, you say? He truly is too kind. Before I began working under Lord Francel, I had thought as little of highborns as I assumed they thought of us as commoners. But my lord not only treats everyone as equals, he shows kindness to everyone. And to receive this gift from the hands of the savior of Ishgard herself, I'm touched beyond words. Sniff. Thank you, my lady. I shall enjoy the wine when I find a quiet moment. Now then, I believe Lord Francel is expecting you in the firmament. Just say the word and I will show you to it. Yeah. Player limit? What? Oh, we gotta be level 60, that's why. Okay, well I guess it's good that I have an actual crafter class that is level 60. Oh, I should add one for the... I'll do that in between episodes. I need to add one for the actual, Lumberjack? Botanist, that's what it's called. This is more Lumberjack than the actual Botanist class, I guess, since it's actually working with wood. Whatever. Okay, there we go. Nope, never mind. It's still the player limit. What? Why? How? This is like patch 7.3 we're in. Today is the release of patch 7.3. How can there be that many people in the firmament? Okay, it's a bit of a pain, but we'll teleport like to a different location, I guess? Like a different world. I'm pretty sure this is world specific, so we can just go to one that's less populated. Or just try any other one, I guess. Which one of these is probably less populated? Famfrit? I think Famfrit is always lagging behind in these things, right? I'm thinking of the exploration stuff that's in the most recent patch 7.25 or whatever stuff. Famfrit is always lagging behind Lamia whenever we're doing progress in that. But that's for later for Komoy. I'm just talking about main character stuff. Alright. Hopefully this works. I guess I have one more trick up my sleeve if this doesn't work. No. You're kidding. Okay, maybe it's related to data center, so you know what? We're going to pause the episode right here and go to a different data center. Actually, my home data center. The one that gives me this nice bonus here. And they give you this bonus because there aren't that many players in that world. Meaning, there shouldn't be that many people inside the firmament when we actually get there. So yeah, we'll be right back. I guess Komoy is just going to stand here and wait until people vacate the premises. And we're back in, I guess. I haven't actually checked if this would work, but we're now back in my home world of Rathlesia, where I created this character. Hopefully we're allowed inside now. Okay, good. And would you look at that? They've already got festivities going. That's because, well, they're already done. The Skyrise celebration is underway. Owing to the tireless efforts of our esteemed skybuilders, the firmament stands completed in all its resplendent glory. To mark this most momentous of occasions, and to bid welcome to visitors from lands near and far to our new home. We are presently hosting a festival, the Skyrise Celebration. We are presently... no wait, just read that. Chief among the amusements at the festival are diverting... wait. Chief among the amusements at the festival are diverting games known as fates. And attractive prizes await those who participate. We hope that you will find a moment to join us in the revelry, Francel. So yeah, they're already done. I mean, I knew this already, but... I guess Komoy arrived a little bit late. Maybe she shouldn't have spent all that time picking up a new craft or whatever, and actually checked on the firmament to learn that they were already done and didn't need any more help. But here she is, late. This is kind of just one of those things where, I guess you'd have to be there at the time to experience the thrill of helping everyone rebuild the district. I guess we can kind of see it on the sign here, but the whole point of this gameplay... no wait, it's just, oh there it is, past progress. The whole point of this gameplay was to restore the entire district piece by piece. 4 restoration phases in total, with many sub-phases or whatever, over the period of a long course of time or whatever. But of course, by the time that everyone completes it, anyone that joins late will just see the completed thing. Which is kind of sad, but I guess we don't have to go through all of this stuff and read through it. Just suffice to say that, I guess, the first phase was this court here, and then the second phase was, I think it was the eastern side, this nest area, over to the right of where the camera is. And the third phase would have been, I guess, towards the back, in the north, I think. And then the last phase was... or maybe this one was in the back and the third phase was to the west. Suffice to say, it's like district by district you're rebuilding. And it would be nice to see what it looked like back then. Unfortunately, they didn't implement that kind of technology yet. The most recent equivalent to this gameplay that's currently implemented in patch 7.25 is the blank exploration stuff, the spoiler exploration stuff. And they implemented some stuff where you can see the previous area, what it looked like, even if you can't explore what it was before. If I were to go join it right now, it would all be complete over there too. But you could watch a cutscene of what it looked like to see things build up piece by piece. Here though, we just see the completed thing, which is fine, I guess. I guess all we're going to be doing here is experiencing the complete state and whatever quests are available here. And there's still plenty of content. You can still participate in fates like they say, and also other things that give you currency to get whatever you need from here. But you miss out on the rebuilding part, which would have been like a competition thing, a cooperative competition thing. Where I guess the most starring, the greatest contributors, or whatever you would call them, are honored in some kind of monument somewhere, which we can probably find later. Oh, but by the time that I joined this place on my main character too, it was already done. I joined around the end of Shadowbringers, so even I have no idea what this place used to look like before all of this stuff was rebuilt. So I'm not going to re-experience that here as Komoy either. Okay, Francel. We're done, right? The whole place is rebuilt. There you are, Komoy. I bid you welcome to the firmament. As you can see, the rebuilding itself is complete. Yeah, we came late. This is but the beginning, however, and we must now turn our attention to the running of the district. We have much and more to do, but speaking to the people has stoked the fires of my determination. I want to make the firmament into a vibrant, thriving district, where highborn and lowborn alike may live side by side in harmony. But I would be lying were I to say the task does not daunt me. there's a limit to what I can achieve, especially given House Hyanard's diminished influence. Have I come at a bad time? Oh, it's him. I was wondering who it was. Count Edmont. To what do we owe the honor? Lest you forget, I am the Count de Fortemps no more, just a retired old man. As for my presence here, a Madeleine reported that Comor was in Ishgard, and I thought I would make a social call. You will forgive me my eavesdropping, but it seems the reconstruction project is not immune to the uncertainty that has accompanied our nation's transition to a republic. Comor, I am given to understand that the other nations have established residential districts for adventurer use. Is this true? Yes, and we do not have a house in one, but we can lie, apparently. We've heard of such places, or we've been living under a rock. We've been denied the permit to own a house or an apartment at all 3 of the districts. So yeah, to say we've heard of such places is, I guess, us gritting our teeth, saying we haven't been able to own a house yet. Districts specifically for adventurer use, where they might possess their own abode. Intriguing. The truth is, our nation is divided by a gulf. While the redistribution of wealth may go some ways towards closing this gulf, it shall not lead to true independence for the masses. We must ask ourselves, in this new age in which we live, what role should each one of us play? In pondering this dilemma, I believe that we may draw inspiration from adventurers and their independent lives. Again, I have no idea how to do a Count Edmont voice. I'm just giving him a voice, and we're moving on with it. Independent lives. If we were to translate this into the firmament, might it not assume the form of self-administration? It seems you have found a spark, in which case this old man's ramblings have served their purpose. I shall pray for your success, Lord Francel. Your words are as a beacon in the dark, my lord. Thank you. Well, Comor, you seem to be occupied at present, so I will leave you to your tasks. But when next we meet, I hope to be regaled with your recent adventures. As ever, our Fortemps Manor is at your disposal, should you need a rest. You can always count on the Count. That's why they call him the Count. You done talking, Francel? Cause I'm itching to meet your hero friend. Yes, forgive me for the wait. Comor, permit me to introduce you to Ogbert. Formerly an engineer of our house, he now serves as the project's chief foreman. It is thanks to his leadership on site that I am able to focus my energies on the administrative aspects of the reconstruction. Francel's told me all about you, Comor. First you saved the whole bleeding nation, now you're helping us rebuild it brick by brick. What can I say except, it's great to have you on board. If you have any questions about the work, I'd be happy to field them. Just save the tedious stuff like the budget for Francel, eh? Speaking of which, if you can spare another moment, my friend, I should like to consult you on some administrative matters. With all the little tasks demanding my time, I cannot always be present on site, but I endeavor to visit as often as possible, and I hope to see you often too. We got some soup, I guess. You now have access to the firmament. An option has been added to teleport here from the Foundation Aetherite. Speak with Ogbert to learn how you may contribute to the reconstruction effort. Whatever little there remains, I guess. So yeah, I guess there's still some things to do here, as indicated by this special quest marker. I don't remember what there is to do here, but there is some stuff, I guess. Right, Komori, if you're gonna lend us a hand, a little explanation is in order. First thing I want to talk about is that their Sky Builders board. Most of what's written there is for newcomers, though I reckon it never hurts for even veterans to give it a look from time to time. Besides that, we try to keep a record of our progress to date, that it might guide us going forward. Now then, let's talk about the work itself. The main thing we need our artisans to do is provide us with supplies. On that topic, I reckon it's quicker if you speak with Potkin over there. Run along and introduce yourself to him. Sure, Potkin. And I'm sure this would have been an introduction to how this whole place works, which is still what it is, but we're kind of getting the introduction for the complete version, rather than the introduction to how you actually rebuild the firmament. Ah, my Lady Komori, the Chief Foreman mentioned that you'd be helping us. It'd be my pleasure to explain the work to you. Though the reconstruction effort itself is complete, we remain in need of supplies for maintenance and upkeep of the firmament. The items you donate will be put to use for building inspection and repair, as well as to provide necessary services to all those who call the district home. It seems you wish to donate, or items you wish to donate, can be brought to myself. Feel free to ask me any time about what we seek. Naturally, you'll be rewarded for your contributions. Depending on the item, we'll present you with an amount in Skybuilder scripts. Oh, and I should mention that we've introduced an initiative to provide additional incentive and excitement to our collaborators such as your good self. The initiative takes the form of a game of chance called the Couple of Fortune. Yeah, permit me to give you a brief overview. They have a similar thing in the spoiler exploration. Another game of chance for getting good items from this thing, but we don't really have to interact with this too much, I guess. Not on Komori. Suffice to say, people get pretty salty about this kind of thing. When you donate certain items to us, you will receive a stamp upon a voucher. Once you have collected 5 stamps, you may take the voucher to Lisbeth for your chance to win a splendid prize. If you wish to know more, I recommend you speak with Lisbeth herself. Tell us. Nice crown, by the way. If you're interested in Kupo nuts, I'm afraid I cannot assist. But if you're interested in the Kupo of Fortune, you've come to the right place, Kupo. If it please you, I shall explain how the game works. Upon each Kupo of Fortune card, there are 4 hexagons, each depicting a treasure chest, provided courtesy of our Moogle friends. Playing is simple. You scratch open a chest of your choice. If the chest holds something from first to 4th prize, congratulations. The fabulous item shown on the prize is yours. But be fairly warned, a ferocious beast lies in wait for hapless treasure hunters. Should you find a griffin instead, you must console yourself with a consolation prize. Now for some important details. The chest on the left holds only 2nd, 3rd, and 4th prizes, meaning you cannot win 1st prize. Neither is there danger of finding a griffin. The 3 chests on the right, meanwhile, can hold any of the 4 prizes as well as a griffin, meaning, while you have a chance to reap the richest reward, you may also walk away with a paltry prize. Which side you scratch open is entirely your choice. As the prizes on offer change each time you play, be sure to cast an eye over the prize list before trying your luck. That concludes the explanation. If you wish to review the rules, I will post the information to the Skybuilders board, so please refer to it at your leisure. Oh, and may I ask if you've been informed about exchanging Skybuilder scripts? If not, I urge you to seek out any for the details. Okay. There's any. Welcome, my lady. You honor us with not only your presence, but your contribution besides. Now you may have heard that contributing to the cause earns you Skybuilder scripts. These may be brought here to be exchanged for a selection of wares. we endeavor to expand the range of items offered, that we might continue to attract contributors, even now that the reconstruction effort itself has been completed. Aside from donating items, you may also earn scripts by bringing materials gathered in the diadem. Have you been informed about these, perchance? If not, Flopsant will be able to furnish you with the particulars. Meanwhile, I shall look forward to exchanging many scripts with you, for you. Over there. Festival going on at the dead of night, past midnight, even in cloudy weather. Kind of crap weather to be looking at this place at, but I guess it's fine. My Lady Komoy, what an honor. How may I serve you this day? You have a mind to employ your gathering skills for the benefit of the restoration effort, you say? Marvelous, marvelous. It shall be my pleasure to provide you with an explanation of our work. As you are doubtless already aware, the firmament's reconstruction demands a veritable mountain of materials. In order to meet this need, it was decided that we would harness the diadem's abundance of resources. Able gatherers such as your good self may venture forth to the Isles and bring back materials to be used in the firmament's reconstruction. Given the nature of these Isles, however, we must make certain that the materials found there are not, shall we say, tainted before we put them to use. To that end, we ask that you bring all the items that you have gathered to myself for inspection. Those items that are deemed safe will be returned to you with a seal of approval. And lest you wonder, yes, fish are also subject to inspection. By your puzzled expression, I see you struggle to fathom what use the restoration effort has for fish. You see, the fish that inhabit the diadem are known to consume unusual things, and through inspection, we determine whether a creature holds resources in its belly. Once this is confirmed, you may help yourself to the bounty with a quick spot of desynthesis. Now then, you are surely curious as to what you stand to gain for your troubles. In recognition of the dangers of the diadem, we offer Skybuilder scripts by way of recompense. Furthermore, all materials you find are yours to do with as you please, or whether you choose to sell them to crafters or craft with them yourself. They will ultimately benefit the reconstruction. And that concludes my explanation. If you have a mind to travel to the diadem for this endeavor, pray present yourself to Lord Orvale, beside me for further information. So yeah, this is why we picked up a gatherer class. We might not get to it this episode, but it's a whole zone just for Disciples of Land. Basically, I actually don't remember going to it on my main character. There's a whole history to the diadem. It wasn't even part of the Ishgardian restoration to begin with. It was older content that was deprecated and then reintroduced back here under like a different guise. Used to be like Disciple of War / whatever stuff. My Lady Komoy, you are welcome. I take it you have received an overview of our part in the restoration effort. It shall be my pleasure to apprise you of all the details. As you are doubtless aware, the diadem is a land where the ether is in constant flux. This phenomenon gives rise to an ever-changing environment. But if there has ever been one constant, it is that the Isles have always teemed with savage creatures. And when I recently journeyed there to investigate a change in the ether, what should I find but that the population of dangerous fauna has markedly decreased? Yeah, that's, I guess, their excuse for why it became a non-combat zone and just for gatherers, basically. Never has it been easier to avail ourselves of the diadem's bounty. Seeing the potential for this development to benefit Ishgard, I presented this discovery to our nation's leaders, who wasted no time in designating the Isles as an official foraging ground for the restoration project. And now we seek those versed in the field of foraging to travel to the diadem and bring back resources needed for the firmament's reconstruction. Lest you worry that pickaxes, hatches, and fishing rods provide poor protection against those creatures that still lurk the Isles, never fear. We have measures to keep our valued volunteers safe. Behold, the aetheromatic auger. As you can tell by the bars at the top, it's a limit break for gatherers. Pretty cool. Conceived by none other than my lord brother Stephanivian. Oh, you're another brother? Is this like the fourth of the four siblings or something? And he's just kind of standing behind a counter here? But yeah, my lord brother Stephanivian. This ingenious contraption is a marvel of personal protection and resource procurement. Permit me to explain. As you know, the Isles of the Diadem are replete with ether. The auger gradually absorbs it as you go about your forging. Once you have sufficient ether stored, you may unleash a compressed blast of it against a hapless fiend, and presto, the creature is now a bounty of resources. And there you have it. Armed with the auger, we ask that you gather and bring back resources from the diadem. It couldn't be simpler. But to think my lord brother's creation should benefit from my venture, which in turn serves to aid the efforts of our younger brother, all for the benefit of our nation. Proud am I to call myself a Hyanite. But come, my friend, we mustn't dally while honor and glory await. Let us set forth for the diadem at once, is what I would say, but for the sake of formality, I am required to introduce you to someone. Behind you and across from the kitchen, there stands Lord Ludovind. Hailing from a long line of scholars, the man has a gift for numbers, and is charged with tallying skyward scores. If you've a mind to lend us your procuring prowess, you would do well to speak with him. Alright, I think the tutorials are almost done. We've kind of gone through most of these counters that are near the hub. I see them. Yes, I see them. The threads of fate entwine us, binding us together as strongly as chains of mithril. Long have I awaited the coming of one such as you. My apologies, but I am wont to become excited in the presence of peerless artisans. My name is Ludovind, and I have the honor of tallying skyward scores. In order to accord greater recognition to our collaborators, we have begun keeping records of your contributions to the restoration effort. By donating items that are exceptionally difficult to obtain or craft, you will earn an amount in skyward points. Now that the reconstruction effort itself is over, we've shifted our focus to collecting essential items necessary for daily maintenance and upkeep. As such, I continue to tally the accumulated scores for our sky builders, past various point thresholds, and it would be our pleasure to reward you with an assortment of gifts as a token of our thanks for your efforts. Should you wish to know your current score at any time, you need only speak with me. If you wish to know more, I would be happy to assist. For the sake of good form, however, may I trouble you to first report back to Chief Foreman Altbert. Okay, we're done doing the rounds, I guess. There you are. I trust you've got a grasp of how things work around here now. And if you need to review something, the Sky Builders board's good for that. Say, if you've got a knack for gathering resources, I reckon you ought to have a chat with Arvale. What he has to say is bound to be of interest. And that's all from me for now. I'll let you run along. But let me just say this. For a famous hero like you to help us here on the ground, you're a good sort, Gomoy. Thanks. Okay, that's the introduction. And I guess we unlocked like a quest here. He said to talk to... who was it? Orvale? About going to the diadem, I guess. That can be one thing we do. We'll consider that on the long list of things that we can do here in the firmament. Of course, one of the things that we can do first is accept that side quest over there. But I think the first thing to do, of course, would be just to tour the area, right? The most sensible thing to do. Taking in the festivities, I guess. I guess the actual festivities are the fates that go around, but I don't know the exact schedule for those, so maybe if they pop up, we'll do them later. But yeah, this is something else. We can worry about that later. Before we leave this main plaza, though, just an example of the rewards that you can get. A bunch of mounts that are specific to this place that I think you can't sell them on the market board, or maybe you can. Well, I guess you can sell them on the market board, but they probably gouge you in terms of gil. For the equivalent amount of Skybuilder scripts that it takes to actually buy these from here. Bunch of emotes, some little minions, that's what they're called. Boarding for your chocobo, I actually kind of want that. Orchestrion rolls and umbrellas. That might be nice to have actually, this black one. And a card, I guess. They've also got a bunch of dyes that were introduced with this expansion basically. Not these ones, I think a bunch of like metallic blue or other colors or something. Actually, are they not part of the rewards here? Oh wait, can I get these? These are probably on the market board. They're probably pretty expensive. If I get enough of these though, would it be a reasonable replacement for like my current thing? Like this coverall stuff? That's something. It's better than my current gear, I guess. This is craftsman stuff though, so not sure if it'd be great for like a farmer look. What about Skyworker? I guess these all 5 go together, these ones. Let's look at this one first. And then with these pants. Kinda shiny. Do these two really go together? I guess they don't necessarily go together, but... well, these pants and these shoes do seem to go together. I guess you can mix and match these parts. Oh, and then this. That's pretty good. I can see myself as like a culinarian wearing that, but I'm not gonna pick up culinarian on Komoi, I don't think. Probably something like this look. Maybe. And then of course there's this look. Yeah, I can kind of see a miner wearing this, but I guess it's a Skyworker outfit. Maybe good for also botanist, I don't know. Well, we'll think about it. Anyway, let's get on with the tour. I guess we'll start by going down to the main plaza. And the sun is rising, which is good. Everyone is dancing, celebrating, I guess. I guess every few hours they have a kind of fete going on, like they say. Or a bunch of fates as part of like a huge festival or something. Real pretty place, the firmament. We'll maybe participate in some fate stuff later on in a different episode. We're only just getting started here. Let's continue down this way, I guess. And actually maybe I should share save the full tour for next time. We're kind of running out of time in this episode. We can actually begin our tour over there. That tower. Yeah. We'll do the last few minutes of this episode doing that tower. Kind of a pointless thing to do, but since I'm so short on time and can't do a full tour, we'll spend a few minutes doing that thing, and then start the next episode from that tower, I guess. Yeah, this way. You can see a bird flying over there. I guess that tower too? Wait, which tower do we want? I guess we might as well start in this one in the bottom right corner. Or is the new nest one better? There's like some balloons over there. I thought only one of these was interactable or whatever, but I guess they're both interactable. Basically, it's a jumping puzzle. They start introducing jumping puzzles in all of the social zones. Yeah, that one too. You can also climb, it seems. This one's fine. This one's like the tallest, right? This is actually like an invention from a later expansion, I guess Stormblood or whatever, where they start having these, jumping puzzles. They're not really puzzles, they're just more platforming challenges. Just as a fun thing to do for people arriving in the zone, or if they're like hanging out or whatever. And most zones will have something like this, if they're a social zone. Except for the A Realm Reborn areas and base Ishgard. They're pretty basic, but they're fun. At least, some of them are basic. Some of them have a reputation, I guess. Did I go around in a circle? I think I did. How do I get up further? There. Some people have trouble with these, but I've gotten used to them. And actually they're going to introduce one pretty soon, I think bring one back, for the next summer event that's coming up pretty soon. Oh, I can't go under here. We don't have to go around. There. And there, and there, and there. There's basically only a few kinds of hops you can do, a long hop and a short hop. I think it's more digital than analog, so it's pretty easy to set your character to a short hop or a long hop or whatever if you need to. And then here, and here, and... oh. There's a cat up here. Can't really interact with it. Just a fun little thing to find. But yeah, this is the highest point we can reach in the firmament, I think. And what a view. Yeah, I guess if I don't get a thumbnail from the cutscenes, this will probably be the thumbnail. Or it could serve as a thumbnail for the next episode if we're going to do the proper tour then. Seems like we're getting the actual sun out now, so... maybe if we wait another minute, it'll be less cloudy and we get a perfect picturesque view of the entire area. Probably don't want to wait too long though. So yeah, on the docket for things to do are 1. There's a bunch of quests that unlock from here, which we can start doing. I think we'll do that later though, after we do some actual basic firmament stuff, like sample some of the gameplay that would have been here in the firmament for crafters and gatherers. We can maybe start next episode as a gatherer, well after we do our tour of course, and go to the diadem and see what it's like to gather things there, and using what we gather, craft some things and get our Sky Builder script rewards and see what the gameplay loop looks like. I won't stay here forever, but oh, after that we can also look into the... what would it be called? The endgame tool things. What would have been endgame but is now deprecated. The Sky Builder tools. There's a proper generic name for these things. They do it in every expansion, or most expansions anyway, but we can at least get our feet wet and see what it's like to start working on those. And what else? I guess this is also a housing district. We can look at the housing district for the firmament, which is basically just the same thing, but not too much to see other than this. And actually it's snowing now, so We won't get a better thumbnail, I guess. Is this better? With the snow? Probably not. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And there might be more things to do that I'm forgetting, but we'll worry about that starting next time. For now, Komor will just stand here and appreciate all of the hard work that everyone did except her. Now would be a good time to take a break.